All right, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Big Bills 91 back in the NBA with another one. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm taking a break from chasing wires. You see how to put everything back together. Well, actually, you didn't because I didn't post a video. But I went and I was chasing the wires on the coolant temperature sensor because it's reading higher than what's actually going on. So I'm gonna tackle that at another date. Maybe I'll change this out again. Change the pigtail again. That'll be the third one in there. I'm pretty sure it's something in the wire harness, but I'll chase it all the way back to the transmission and all the way to the PCM. Didn't see any breaks in any lines, any corrosion, any burns, or nothing. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But what I'm doing right now is, in the midst of me chasing those wires, I decided to check the fans. Once again, this fan's still operational. It still spins on when it's supposed to. But this one, as you can see, is not there anymore because it wasn't going. It wasn't working. So I took it out. I tested the harness. The one that's in there still spun. Tested this one, didn't spin. Took it out. Tested the leads, hooked it up from battery. No motion. So ordered a new one. And decided, you know what? While I'm in here, might as well see why. I mean, you could probably guess why this is burning up from here all the way to this one don't look too bad, but for surely this one right here, this one on the end, it's kind of burnt up, and then you got all this madness back there. So what I'm doing now is I'm going from the fuse box to the relays all the way to the fan. So I've already done one. Disconnected the power from the first, what was it? Up in the corner, I did that one in the corner. So the secondary fan, took the power out from that fuse, that line, disconnected it. All I did was use a little small screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and you're gonna put some pressure in there. You're gonna have to really do it and punch it through, pull it out, and this lead is, or this terminal is going to lead to the first one on the relay connector, that very top one. And as you can see, that one is a little burnt up, So I took that out, and what it looked like, I'm on my second one right now. What it's going to look like is this right here. So this is from the fuse. This is to the relay. And once you get it out, this is the old wire from the first one. I'm choosing to reuse the maxi fuses connectors, terminals, whatever you want to call them, because I went online and looked them up, and you can get these, for the relay connectors, you can get these, a pack of 25 for like $15. These, $5, no, I'm sorry, 5 for $25. You know what? I'm going to try my hand at reusing them. If shit don't work and it's still failing, and then I'll come back in here and do it again and just use brand new connectors. But I can't see myself spending $25 for 5 pieces of little metal. So very delicately, I'm taking them, unraveling the little collars off of there, cleaning them up, and then putting them on some new wire. You see how this one's dancing? It got some shake to it. And this one, stiff as a motherfucking brick. Like, it don't want to move. And I cleaned it up with the little wire brushes now, but it was a lot of corrosion and like some white stuff all over it. So, but I cleaned that up. So once that goes back into the fuse box, it's gonna connect. I'm on my second one, so as you can see, there's no pin in the second one. And then in the same spot on the relays, I'm sorry. So right there, that's the one I'm working on right now. Then you're gonna push those back in there until you hear a click, and then you're done. And then you're gonna, the bottom, I'm looking at it from this angle, the bottom right corner, right? Bottom left corner of each relay, that's your power line going to your fans. So I've already pushed this one out for the secondary fan, cut the terminal off of it. Here's the power line, and it's feeding into this line right here. It's the black line. Yeah. So you got, look like a yellow wire. I don't know, they all kind of burnt up. Look like a green wire. Yeah, green, black, orange, and then you have this yellow line right here. So that's, that cut one is the second one right here. And it's gonna connect to this one. I have yet to figure out which one is which on this line, but I'm just gonna redo the whole harness. So that's what we're doing today. Let me see what I do. Oh, here's the power line that I'm getting ready to put back in there. So it's all nice and buttoned up. These are gonna get a little bent up from you trying to reuse them. If you wanna reuse them, like I said, if you got the bread, go ahead and spend that $40. But I figure, you know what? I'm not trying to wait a week to get it and spend $40 on a little piece of metal just because it says silver plated. I'm cool. These will work just fine. These are not causing the issue. It's the wire, you know, or what have you. So whatever. So that's what we're doing today. And then I got the motor for the fan. It's on order. It should be here tomorrow. Today's Thursday. It should be here Friday morning. We're gonna rig that back up, and then hopefully by that time I should be done. And then we'll see what the temps are looking like with two fans, two working, powerful fans getting proper power provided. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing today. And then, you know, if the temps don't change, if we still, then I'll just take this to a real mechanic, because I'm not a real mechanic. I'm just a motherfucker in this garage trying to figure some shit out. That's all I am. Don't mind this. This is just, I was bleeding, and then, you know, you try to bleed, get the air out your system, and leak down there. If all things go well, I'll get an electric motor pump, a water pump, and then get that torque head Opti Spark Delete. Had that thing sitting up here. That should look cool, but that's far down the line. I ain't got nothing to really say about this one just yet. We'll be taking her out today. Other than that, let me get back to work, and I'll check back in with y'all in a little bit, all right? All right, so if you want to reuse the terminals, all I'm doing, and I know it looks a little beat up, but it's gonna get polished up here in a little bit, okay? I'm just using these to pretty much one on one side, another on the other side, and pull them apart. Pull them downward and apart so that you get in there, because it is tough. It is tough to get this up, because not only is it crimped on there, it's kind of rounded inside of the wire as well. This is from factory. So, and these are the smaller ones are even harder, because it's a smaller, you know, piece. So you can see it's kind of rounded in there. But yeah, you just take the pliers, put them on both sides, try to get them as equal, you know, space on there as possible, and then pull apart and kind of down to open it up. And once you get it opened up, you get a little ice pick or a screwdriver, a real small screwdriver, something that you can get in there and kind of poke and prod. Once you get one side open enough to where you can start pulling wires out, you can kind of shimmy the rest out. You can just start, you can put one hand on the other side. It's hard to do this with a phone, but you can just pull it all the way out. But the trick is just to getting them open first and getting one side of the wires out so that you can finesse it out. So, hope that helps. What's going on, y'all? Hey, want to make sure you guys understand, beware of the mistake that I just made in this portion of the video. If you're going to reuse the terminals, do not heat shrink wrap, or use heat shrink on the wires, because if you do, when you put those terminals back into the fuse box, you will not be able to get that clip to pass through and lock all those terminals in place. Okay, so don't use heat shrink, just use the wire. Make sure it's all nice and crimped nice. If you're going to use solder. Don't use too much solder, because the way those clips pass through is they lock the bottom end of the terminals into place. But if you have heat shrink on there like I do, it was not enough space for it to pass through. And so what I had to do was go back in there and cut all the heat shrink off, and then kind of press the soldered portions down a little bit flatter so that I was able to get the locking clip back into place. Okay, because if you don't put that locking clip back into place, those things are just liable to fall out. So we don't want that. Okay, so just a little tidbit.
Find out where the thing is at. I'm gonna go in here. It's a little opening. I'm just gonna wiggle it in there. Make sure, just look at all the other ones that you didn't touch, see which way they're going. So like if you could tell, you probably can't tell, but they're all facing. Make sure you hear a nice little snap. You might not be able to hear it over the fans, but let me get my not tweezers, but pliers. And we're gonna, there we go, boom. So now, you look in there, and she probably could be pushed up a little bit further, but she's in there. And we're gonna do the same thing for this slot right there. And then when we're done with that, I got that power line out heading to the fans. And then I'm gonna take out this one going to the fans too. They're both 12 gauge wires. So you got this black one, which was a 12 gauge right there that I cut. And then this blue one here is gonna get cut or pulled out and cut as well. And then we're gonna run all that to the fans. So let me finish putting this other one in, and then we'll finish up with the rest of the harness. All right, welcome back. It's a little later on the day, but we still at it. I've put the power lines in running from the fuse to the relays. Both of them are in there, nice and snug. I clipped the old power wires that's heading to the fans and created 2 new wires, which are running from here, and they're still in the spool because we haven't spliced in to the connector yet. Just one piece of advice: if you're gonna do this and reuse the old terminal pins, don't heat shrink. You're creating extra bulk, so when you go to put this clip back in that holds all the fuses or all the wires into the box, it's a lot of bulk and it's hard to get these in. I was able to do it with that one because you got to remove that to get the pins out. But putting it back in was a biatch. So, and this one's is no less. So, if you're gonna do it, try not to heat shrink it, or if you're gonna heat shrink it, don't do it all the way up to the collar, like how I did, because that's exactly where I'm stuck at right now, trying to get these fins in there. It's stopping right there as soon as you hit there. So just a little piece of advice, but I'm still gonna drive on. I'm gonna get it past there. I ain't tripping about that. You see that brown? Something was heating up, baby. Okay. So hopefully what I did fixed it, and once I get the motor in tomorrow, we won't have any more issues. All right, YouTube. So change of plans. If you're following along, I hope you didn't jump the gun, because I'm gonna go a different route. So instead of splicing into the connector here, which is having all sorts of issues, your lights, this is your fan and your lights, your headlights harness. The fan still, the headlights, they still work with this disconnected. So we'll probably just tape that off. I'm not gonna splice into this because this has already just been too tapped into. So what I'm gonna do is go directly into the plugs. So this plugs up directly into the fans. This is that harness that I don't wanna splice into. So we're gonna bypass this, bypass that one in there, and tap right into here. So I'm gonna make some cuts here. I'll probably cut this one a little bit shorter since it's already short. And I'm gonna plug my new power lines coming from
the relays right into the plugs there. That makes sense? All right. So if you're doing this, I forgot which way because the way you plug these fans up does matter. If you put the power on, one side or the other, you could be pulling air from the engine bay out through the radiator, which isn't going to help you. So you want to make sure that when you come back in here and test these fans, or make sure that the flow is going the correct way, test them. That's why I got this mirror and the light here, just to see, which lead will pull air from the outside in. So I know on this plug, or it should be on both of them, the power line goes on the right side or the left side here, or right side, whatever. And then your ground is this one, and the plug goes into the motor like this. The clip's facing down. So this is power, this is ground. So I'm gonna start making some cuts, plug it in, splice it up, do all that, and I'm still waiting on the motor for the fans. It should be here later on today. And then we will test to see if that makes any difference with the cooling, because the whole reason why I'm doing all of this is because the temps are a little wonky. I've kind of let go of the fact that this might be an issue because before I changed it, the car came with one originally, and then I swapped it in the temp sensor and put a new one in there, but it was a $12 Moto something temp sensor, and he got the pigtail splice in there, but it was reading 303 degrees steady, and the car wasn't that hot. Obviously that's catastrophic, but swapped it out again and I put a OEM GM original temperature sensor in there and a new pigtail. And the temps are still reading higher than they are on the dash and then what I'm reading on the gun, but not by much. And that was with only running one fan. So I'm guessing this is no longer the issue. The fan, since this fan wasn't working, that was the issue, not keeping the motor cool enough. Now, if we do all this and it's still running too hot, I'm gonna go thermostat. And if that don't work, I'm gonna go radiator, and if that don't work, I'm gonna put a bomb in this car. I'm gonna give it the Diddy treatment. You feel me? All right, so let me get back to this, and I'll tap in with y'all here in a second. All right, let's get it. All right, YouTube. So I completed the rewiring. Let me grab my light real quick. I completed the rewiring of the fans. As you can tell, we are spliced in directly there and then spliced in directly into the primary fan. I still gotta finish lumening up the rest all the way up into the fuse box, but they work. Everything cool. That was the mount right here. Hold on. This right here, mounting that arm of the fan. Dog, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I'll get it together one of these days. So everything went cool. The fans worked, or both of them. Yeah, obviously both of them work. The engine did run a little bit cooler, but it still got up into the 230s, 235s, which that's still a lot higher than what I would like. But it took a lot longer to get there than it did prior to. So I'm still gonna change out the thermostat. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it today, but I do have a new one. This is a 180. I kind of want to put a 160 in there, but I got to do some more research to see if that's appropriate. But that's gonna be the next step. And like I said, if that don't work, we're gonna do the radiator. But I don't think the radiator is bad. Like, it's not too bad. It's not bad at all, actually. It's not brand new, but it's not bad. Condensers is there. I might just wash it and see if we can get some more circulation through there. I did have to run grounds from here as well, back through there, since I didn't tap back into this wiring harness. This is just chilling here for the time being until I figure out what I want to do. It's connected back up here, but it's disconnected here. But other than that, this is cool. It was cool. We're just not, we're rounding third, but we're not at home yet. But something else that I did yesterday is I put new tires, the new tires that came with the car on the car. And I think they're a little bit bigger than the ones that came with the car originally. These are chewed up, but I want to get rid of these tires anyway. But Jesus Christ, we're almost there on this wheel for this tire setup. But as soon as they mount up the tires, put them on the car, and I drive away off the parking lot, I'm hearing a grinding noise. Yeah, so we're gonna do something about that right now, because I'm not dealing with that. There's literally no space. I don't know if I want to cut it or if I'm gonna bend it. I probably just might bend it if I can to save it, because when I go back down to the stocks, I might go 22s or I might go back stock. I don't want to have a big gash right here. So, and once all that's straight, as you see, I got the lower dash up here. It's in many pieces. We're gonna clean this up. I got the spray paint. We're gonna get that dye back to the regular color, the official tissue. But yeah, I just wanted to say we are finished with that. That's just making it tidy in here. I don't know which one of these lines get hot, but all this got to get loomed up before I'll be back to square one here again. So yeah, if you want to learn how to rewire your fans from the fuse box to the fans, that's how you do it. It's pretty straightforward. It's not too difficult. It's just a little time consuming. You know, you got to take some things apart. I got to put this back. I got to tighten this down. But yeah, if you want to learn how to do it, I'm pretty sure this is like pretty standard work for any car. I just never done it before. So there's my tutorial on how to rewire your fans if your fans go out, or if you have your Impala and you got this issue where this harness is burning up, you know, your fans and whatnot. So I appreciate you guys tapping in with me. You know what I'm saying? Check in with my next video. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I know I gotta do something next because she ain't done. I might get a new filter. Well, I gotta tackle that wheel and tire. So, and thermostat. So that's what I'll do. All right. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Big Bills 91 up out of here. Peace.